Good morning, fam. Thank you for the likes. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. We got Tuesday here, Monday. It's Monday. Feels like Tuesday already. In the Matrix. Let some people roll up in here. We've got the bioengineered food products on blast today. We're talking bioengineered food. You know what I mean, fam? Bioengineered food. Am I on other platforms, Julia, from Facebook? Yes, fam. I'm on TikTok. That's where I do most of my work from. TikTok. I just share my videos to Facebook from TikTok. So check out Primal Dad Truther on TikTok. You can find my accounts through my link tree in my bio. You can find everything that I do from there, guys. Facebook has me on restriction, so if you don't ever see me or you don't see my lives, it's because I'm restricted for the past 4 months plus. They have fact-checked me and gotten mad and sad. So you can go on my TikTok. I've got playlists on there. I use the green screens on the TikTok lives more. I can't green screen on the Facebook lives very well. So you can get more information from TikTok. You can try Instagram or YouTube. Yeah, I've tried Instagram. Instagram doesn't push me out very hard. And YouTube, I haven't put much work into YouTube other than uploading my live videos to YouTube. Who's still out here eating them GMO vegan oyster mushroom burgers? Yeah, man, people really are. People are eating these Beyond Meat, all these things that they make in laboratories. They say it's good to eat, so they grab it and they don't think twice and they start eating it. But then you learn what it actually is. You know what I mean? It's kind of like putting shots up in you before learning what they are. I did it for a little while with the flu shot. I took it and then I started researching it, and then I learned that there was heavy metals in the flu shot. That's when I started to look it up and research it, and then I learned about it, and then I chose not to take it anymore. And that was a human choice, and it was simply just paying attention to what is going on. What are they putting in me? Why do I even need to question it? It's kind of like having parents. You know, should the child question the parent all day long, guys? Should the child be able to trust the parent? That's the way I looked at the Govy. I looked at it as my parent, and I should be able to trust it because they are my people, man. And I am their people, and they are employed by me and you. You know what I mean? So why shouldn't I trust them? Why would they wish me ill? You know what I mean? They've got our backs. This one asks, what do I eat? You guys, if you want to look at foods that I recommend, you can go get my free food list in my bio. Free food list there in my bio. I offer it for everybody. Okay? And then I practice and preach fasting. And I intermittent fast every day. So that means I go for an extended amount of time without food. I do not eat a breakfast ever. I recommend highly on doing most of your activity early and skipping breakfast if you're going to do it that way, if you can. And then staying up on minerals such as sea moss while you are fasting is important because you will deplete your mineral. You will deplete your mineral, and then you go out looking for healthy minerals, and there are none in the diet. and they've got the mineral depleted. Even in the food, you think you get it from your food, you really don't, because the soil is depleted, the minerals is depleted in a lot of the foods. It's hard to get minerals from foods, like trying to get iodine from food or vitamin D from food. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to get those from food, and you can research that. Iodine is almost impossible to get from food or anywhere else. And if you are consuming, iodine through your table salt, then that is a synthetic variant. That is not a real earth iodine. You tried to buy, hello, I tried to buy your products. I could not. It is because they don't allow to place items in cart. I don't know, Max, what you're referring to, man. If you're having an issue, try to shoot me a message and I will try to see it and try to get back to you. I don't know what you are talking about as far as my products. Are you on Dr. Truth's website? Are you on my website trying to get toothbrushes? Just let me know. Jenny, what's up, fam? How you doing? Brown Eyes, thank you for joining in. Good day. Thank you for cruising in, fam. Some familiar people here. This one says, my kids and I stopped getting the flu stab years ago after the chiropractor said, don't do it, they're bad. Don't do it, they're bad. Why would something that we put into us be something that we are getting warned against, that is approved and is told that it is healthy and safe, and then you learn that you done got it, and then later on, after you already got it, then you learn that it's not healthy and or safe because carcinogens are not healthy and or safe. So here we are. You know what I'm saying? You said that you're having an issue with my website. Just you should be able to add it to cart. If not, I'll go and run a test on it and make sure that everything's working. But I just had an order on my site go through recently, so maybe, I don't know if you use Etsy, you can try to check out the toothbrush through there if you're looking for that. Junk food is for satisfaction. Yeah, man, definitely. It's a drug, it's a high. When we eat, we're getting high. There's the excitotoxins in the food, there's the MSG, there's the sugar, there's the salt, there's the chemicals, there's the banned ingredients, there's, it just keeps going and going. Bioengineered food ingredients. And then we wonder why we can't fast or nothing, and why our blood sugars are all crazy. You know what I mean? It's because of this stuff we eat, man. And if you look at it and you learn what the food is for what it is, it's carbohydrate. It's all extremely high refined carbohydrate. Max, you're hearing the real sea moss is purple. What's my thoughts on that? Yeah, I mean, essentially, it can vary a little bit in color depending on the area that the sea moss grows, but the main thing is you're looking for, it's going to be between like light brown and purple, depending. Like the Honduran sea moss that I recommend, it's like it has purple in it and it has like light brown, and the main thing is you want it growing off of rocks. So that's why I tell people, by all means go and rabbit hole the sea moss, but the sea moss is very it's very convoluted. There's a lot of people out there growing it in pools and or off ropes and or here and or there in maybe worse areas, and that's why I just say, hey, I get the wild Honduran sea moss, the raw wild Honduran sea moss, and that's growing off of rocks, and that's out of a clean ocean. There's parts of the world that are much cleaner than others. If you're getting some sea moss out of the Pacific, over there in China, right where Fukushima blew up, or wherever it was, Japan, and you're eating that sea moss, that's sketchy. You know what I mean? So there are levels to it, like everything, man. But I know I want to get my, my supplement or what I'm using to nourish my body from a real clean area. Obviously, that's bad for you. Yes, and it sounds very obvious and, pointless to say, but at the same time, people don't think of that. Like, there's reasons why I recommend things the way I do, because I research them. Like, for instance, mushrooms. You can get organic mushrooms, and that's all fine and dandy, but there's a lot of mushrooms that are imported from China. And even if they're organic, China has more pollution than we even have in America, which is scary because we've got a lot. And then you learn that the soil is even 10 times more depleted. So you really don't want to get your mushrooms from China. And you know what I mean? So it just goes and goes. That's why I look for, if I look for like a mushroom powder or something, I get it from the US just because it is a little bit better. Like I look for organic mushroom powders that are sourced from the US, and it just goes and goes. And there's probably way more rabbit holes to that too if I wanted to be the mushroom powder guy all day every day, and that's all I wanted to study. I'm sure it gets deeper, but there's so many toxins all around that you can't just focus on one toxin, because you will get lost in that toxin. You know what I mean? And then it'll just keep going and going. And then it's like you can focus on one at a time. That's great, but you have to learn that there's all these things all around us in all different levels. You know what I mean? It's all accumulative. Yeah, more or less, pretty much exactly. Yeah, this one, Michael says, if you have ever eaten corn, you've eaten a GMO, and that's true in more ways than one. Because somebody will say, well, no, there's non-GMO corn, dude. That doesn't mean anything. The GMO term, I debunked the GMO term when I discovered the seedless lemons at Trader Joe's. You know what I'm saying? When I don't know if you guys have followed me, let me show you. Significance. What is the significance of non-GMO? You know what I'm saying, guys? On Facebook. What is the significance of it? I don't know if you can see it. But essentially, we have seedless lemons that are non-GMO. And everyone doesn't even think twice about that concept. You walk right into Trader Joe's, and then your mind goes to, dang, that sounds cool. Now I don't have to deal with the seeds. No big deal. Let's just eat them up. Is artificial selection GMO, like selective breeding? There's levels to it all, man. There is no perfect answer. You can't just say that you can do this or do that, like alter the plants this way or that way. Okay? The point is there's, how far do you go? You can propagate two plants together and make your own plant and play kind of God with the plant in a sense. Or you can start altering the genome. It just depends how far they go with it. You know, selective breeding. Well, what is selective breeding, and how are you doing it? Because you can look at seedless grapes, and people can tell you that's selective breeding, but all they're doing is they're cloning a mutant When you have seedless grapes, they're cloning a mutant. They're literally just, they keep repropagating a mutant strain. What is that mutant? It was a seedless grape. Why do you want to take the mutant and multiply the mutant? Why do you want to eat the mutant grape, the seedless? That's and I can guarantee you they have ways of causing that mutation within the plant. You cause it not to grow seeds, then you start growing that seedless one, and now all of a sudden you have, how could they make them all seedless, all these different types of grapes? You know what I mean? How could they make them all seedless? Thank you guys for the likes on the page on the Facebook. You guys, it helps out my lives when I come on here, when I get the chance. Appreciate it. The fact it says it's natural, right? Naturally seedless. How could something be naturally seedless? No such thing. Not with fruits. That's right. Fruits are meant to have seeds, the more the better. We're told things are harmless until everyone starts getting the C word. That's so true. And if you don't think that, let's talk about smoking. Smoking is the perfect example. We need to learn from our history. They told us it was cool, it was harmless. They told us we were healthy as we smoked cigs. And then you learn that it was very, very not good. Right? It was very unhealthy, and it's so unhealthy that a lot of people stopped doing it. A lot of people stopped smoking because they learned after they were lied to. You don't think anybody knew that smoking was unhealthy before it was out there? Then we gotta think again. They spray sugar on tobacco. Tell me that's not a deliberate, you don't need sugar in your tobacco. You know what I mean? And then they spray this, that, insecticides, raticides, rodenticides on these fake plants that are GMO and smoking. And then we learn, well, why does it do that? Well, just because this is about as toxic as you can possibly make a plant, and then you're breathing it in a smoke. They couldn't, I don't think you can put any more toxins in one plant, other than tobacco. I mean, gosh. Pineapples are man-made, they're acidic, and they're high sugar, fam. And they have bromelain. It will literally eat you. Bromelain, whatever it is. There's a compound in there that pineapples will eat you. And they're like these little sharp, little knives, little 1,000-cut knives. Do you see what I'm saying? And why is that thing so toxic? Because they made it with like 5 different plants, and they used unnatural means to do this, and they are allowed to do these things because they're playing God with our food. And everyone shrugs their shoulders. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares that Cavendish bananas used to be 10 times smaller, and they used to have actual plantable seeds? And now if you have a Cavendish banana that's a big giant mutant, that's a pure sugar, when the monkeys started eating only the Cavendish bananas at the zoo, they started having problems, mental issues. They were hyperactive. They were attacking each other. They were diabetics. They were losing their teeth. They were rotting their teeth out. They were all going mad because they were eating Cavendish bananas instead of wild bananas. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. And then you learn that banana is Walmart's #1 selling item. And then it's like, that's who cares. And then it's like, I care. I at least want to be informed, And I'm sure there's others also. And people are waking up more and more every day, and it's beautiful. So pineapples, fam, are a no-go for me. And I don't need them. They're pure sugar. And there's a lot healthier fruits that I can consume. If I'm trying to heal, I'm eating for my well-being, not for just the high. If I was eating for just the high, I wanted a sugar blast, then I would be gunning Pepsis and or milkshakes. I miss milkshakes. I haven't had a milkshake in years. You know what I'm saying? So, appreciate you guys on Facebook. She's Judy says I care. See, some people care, and you learn. You're gonna care. If you don't like being in a wheelchair or just feeling like crap, then you'll learn to care about yourself. That's the human instinct. They got us all going against our human instincts. These wise guys pop in here. Who cares? I don't care. I like to eat what I want. I'm so cool and so smart. And it's like, that's great for you. I was there where I thought I could just smash all the poisons in my 20s. Why do you think that most of my viewers on my accounts, they're in their 30s, they're in their 40s, because it's only appealing to those who have been going through something, or you're seeing something. When you're young and it hasn't caught up to you yet, you're chilling. You're not going to go researching what food does and all this and that. That's like a smoker, when in the first 5 years, they're chilling on it because they're just thinking, oh, I've got plenty of time, and I won't even think twice about it. And then as the years stack up, it starts catching up to you. Well, what happens when you're eating the food and you didn't know that for the past 30 years, kind of like the flu shot or whatever we were talking about, you learn later on what it really is. And it's like, well, cool, I would have loved to know that 30 years ago. If I would have known that 30 years ago, would I have been perfect? I don't know, but I would have done things differently. If I would have known that the food was going to take my nervous system like it did. Thoughts on pineapple and bromelain? It's trash, fam. Bromelain, whatever they call it. They make these things up. You know what? My raspberries, my blueberries, they don't eat me. You know what I mean? A zucchini, it doesn't eat you. It doesn't have bromelain or acid or these things that we find that are very caustic in these fake man-made plants that are they're making chemicals with them. Look at garlic. There's compounds in garlic that are specific to garlic. Well, oh, garlic's healthy, this, that. Who said who? The same people that said red dye 40 was healthy? Okay. The same clowns that say non-GMO doesn't mean it means everything. You can have non-GMO naturally seedless lemons. That doesn't even make any sense. Lemons were never even originated on the earth. Lemons were made by man. So how can you have a natural thing made by a man? That's like making people. The food doesn't eat you, that's right. Thank you for the gift, fam. Appreciate you guys on the likes on TikTok and Facebook as well. They did not exist centuries ago, and most people don't think that far back. You get to where you start learning that these things are trash, and then you get burned out. You know what I mean? That's why I'm over here rabbit holing, because it's exhausting, and nobody wants to sit there and learn about the history of the lemon. You've already been burned out on a history class at school or whatever. Nobody wants to go back and dig in and find out what it really is. I did. I have. You know what I mean? They went and made the lemon out of 2 citrus fruits, which is fine. Make them. Play God with the plants. I don't care. And then eat them and then keep, but then how long does the manipulation go? Where do you draw the line where you can just keep modifying things? Like, look at the lemon, man. Cool. It started off cute and innocent as some plant that they made back in the day with 2 different citrus fruits. That's cool. You know what I mean? Good deal. Now lemons are acidic in the human body. That means that is acid forming. That is a disease. You learn that eat a key lime that wasn't made by man, as it, however it altered whatever, not as much as a lemon. Okay, the key lime is alkaline in the body. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't made by man. The agricultural revolution is responsible for GMOs. I hate grocery shopping. It's always so disappointing. Liz, I spend a small amount of my life anymore grocery shopping because I kind of stick to what I know now. I've had to narrow down as I walk through a grocery store. I look at all the things I've eliminated, and it's saddening. I want to do grocery hauls for you guys, but I can't. I mean, I can tell you how to pick poisons and which ones are less and more. You know what I mean? But in the end, it's hard to do a grocery haul. Even when I went to go do one in Trader Joe's, I had to point out at least 10 things that are getting people that they don't know. You know what I mean? That I need to shine some light on to. And I'm over here trying to be positive video, trying to say, hey guys, I get these mushrooms and these zucchini. I make stir fries, with bell peppers and onion, here and there. And I like the wild berries here, but then I'm coming across all these toxins and all these man-created plants. And that's the majority. 99% are altered and or made by man in the grocery stores, guys. I've been saying this for a year now, and it's in different levels. It's complex. It's very elaborate how they did these things and how they continue to change these plants and how nobody cares and nobody thinks of it as a big deal until you start learning what GMOs do to you, and you start learning that you are what you eat, and that you learn that you are making yourself a GMO or a non-GMO, as these seedless lemons are. You're a non-GMO. Oh, I eat seedless lemons, so I'm a non-GMO. Okay, you know what I mean? All right then, we'll see. We'll see, right? That's how we have to live in this world. We'll see, because we're all what? We're all like experimental, maybe. Maybe they just send something out there and approve it, and maybe we find out later when there's a lawsuit, or, you know what I mean? There's like a lawsuit on a company or a product. And, oh, did you used to eat this 20 years ago when you were a lab rat for this company? Well, it just so happens to be that they were carcinogenic, and now you can sue them maybe. So hit us up, and we will charge you a bunch of money to sue them. And it's like, people ask me, is this a matrix, or why am I an idiot thinking this is a matrix? You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing this for years, and it's like you haven't connected no dots yet to see that this is all designed, fam, that this is all created. It wasn't on accident. You think they accidentally banned red dye 40 as an amaranth plant and then accidentally made it petroleum, when this cat genuinely accidentally made it in a lab? This chemist, he was playing with coal tar in a laboratory and accidentally made a red dye, azo dye, they call them azo dyes. And they made it out of a coal byproduct. Like, when they make coal and then they are done with the crap that's left over, they take that in the labs and they're playing with it, making dyes. That was cool. That was so cool, right? Wow, science is beautiful and amazing. They made this red dye. Dude put it in his whiskey, switched it around, and made his whiskey red, and said, OMG, let's get this in the food, and let's ban the amaranth plant. Okay, if they didn't ban the amaranth plant when they did that, I would have been like, all right, red 40, maybe it's just more convenient to be petroleum based, a coal byproduct of coal. You know what I mean? Petroleum. Okay, But then now you're banning the amaranth plant that's known for helping the C word, and you're banning it, saying it's a carcinogen. And it's like, you think they do these things on accident, man. They do not. They do not do these things on accident. That's right, Michael. The red 40 should be replaced by an organic, non-petroleum based dye. You know what I'm saying? This is innovative things, but they went and did this back in the 60s when they swapped this. And then we wonder if this is an accident, that Pfizer back in 1919 started to create citric acid, guys. Citric acid. Pfizer made that in 1919. They made it their own. They said, you know what, guys? Citric acid that comes out of these fake lemons or real citric acid coming out of like an apple or a key lime, that isn't no good. That you can't make that. It's hard to use, to use all these plants to make that citric acid. Let's create it. And then somehow these evil geniuses figured out how to create citric acid off of GMO corn. They're growing black mold on GMO corn, and that creates citric acid, and then it's bleached to be white. And we're just like watching them do this almost now. Like, I can't be any more clear about it. And then people chime in, oh, you're so stupid. It's the same chemical, you idiot. Okay. So if you have a piece of feces and you can put it through a laboratory and turn it into the same chemical structure as a blueberry, like the, one of the compounds in a blueberry, do you want to eat the feces one or the blueberry one? Who cares? If they match the chemical, dude, shut up. Just shut up and eat it. No. Like, I want to know where it comes from. If it's the vibe of something being grown on GMO corn is trash. I don't care if it's black mold or if it's more GMO corn. It's completely trash. That plant, it's not healthy for us, and we have to understand that these things are all at different levels. We've got the worst things in the food or the shots, whatever that you want to call it. You know what I mean? And then it goes down the line. And then some things are a lot better. Like the avocado is not as bad, but the avocado is made. The Hass avocado, that they made that one so they can put their name on it. And you think that when you make something, you patent a plant, and you've got laboratories, you got chemists all around you, you don't think that you're going to make it better and greater? Well, look at the avocado. If you need more examples, look at the natural avocado, guys. Have you seen one? I can pull one up. The flesh was this big, but the seed was this big. Now it's the opposite. Do we not think that there's something there, almost like that too good to be true mind state? If God left you a plant and you're taking that, making it your own, and you've got people who may not have your back in these laboratories going ahead and changing them no matter what happens in the long run, not looking at any long-term side effects and or issues, just making it bigger and badder and taste better. That's all that matters, dude. Nothing else matters. So then you learn that even the avocado's highly messed with, and you think of the avocado, the Hass avocado, as one of the healthiest foods in the world. Do you see what I'm saying? Why do you think I always reference the Matrix? I always reference the Matrix because look at what they've done, you guys. And look at how elaborate it is. And it's like, who wants to go down all these rabbit holes? You know what I mean? Nobody does, man. It's boring. We're so distracted and we're so wrapped up in our egos that we're not going to stop to think about these things. But then, like I say, when you get sick, you will. When you get sick and if you're in a hospital bed, I'm going to pull up my phone. I'm going to start researching fast. You know what I mean? Because I'm literally fighting for my life. That's where it was for me. So it was just, people have it at different degrees. But we learn that people all are having different symptoms to the same types of problems. The same poisons. We're having different symptoms. One person gets a fatty tumor. One person gets the C word. One person gets just fat. One person gets diseased, or they get diabetes, or they have skin issues, or they have, like me, I had 10 diseases all at once. I had 10 degenerative diseases all at once. I lost my eyesight, I lost my nervous system, I lost my hair, I lost my gut, I lost everything. I was literally almost crippled. Literally. So I can speak from my angle, hey, I was there and now I'm not as much. And it's without a doubt these foods. And if you want to get there where I was, eventually, just beware. If not, you want to do a little preventative maintenance and or educate yourself. All you got to do is educate. If you educate yourself on what it is, you'll just be like, bro, I'm going to avoid it. That's all I asked for. And I didn't get that opportunity. When I was consuming these, I thought that it was approved and I knew different things were better than others. But essentially, you think, hey, these things are all approved. They checked it out and it can't harm me. But then why am I having 10 diseases all at once when I'm in my early 30s? Knowledge is king. You're welcome. Definitely. It really is, you guys. It's unfortunate that we have to relearn everything, into our 30s, 40s, but here we are. I've been on statins for 2 years now. High cholesterol. You want to get off. Eddie, have you checked did they even ask you about the diet? I mean, we're talking cholesterol, fam. I would hope to God that somebody there is asking you about the food, the diet, because if you have high cholesterol, are you consuming high cholesterol? Because we in the traditional American diet, we are, man. What's so wrong with seedless fruits, guys? Maybe somebody in the comments could help this friend here with kind of a weird name. I don't really get that name. I don't really like that name. That's weird. But anyway, what's wrong with seedless fruits, man? What's my website? My website's primaldiettruther.com. You can access my website and my informational topics and lists in my bio, guys. My link tree. I made a link tree for you guys. Started off with my free food list in there. I've got a free Amazon list in there. I've got all kinds of good stuff for you guys. The natural toothbrush, seeded fruits. This one says that you want to do a consultation. So I offer consultations as well for those who really want my opinion on something that's going on with them. I've had many people come to me asking lots of questions, vitamins, this, that, health, this, that, wanting to know, more personal. That's what I set those up for. I offer consultations to people. And do I need to do that? No, I do not. And I don't even really talk about it. I probably should, because it has helped people already. I have some testimonies. I have one person that is actually getting back with me and staying consistent, and she's already lost 15 pounds or something. You know what I mean? So it is what you know what I'm saying. It is. It's just it when it comes down to it. And I don't even make a diet for anybody. I don't tell anybody eat a certain diet. I don't I don't say any of that. I just want to educate you guys on what to avoid most. And then you're going to find your own ways, because if if not, it's too hard for everybody to try to follow, like, oh, I did it this way, so you got to do it this way. No, it's more of, hey, eliminate the bad things here, and we can supplement with better. And it's a long road, and it's complex, but it can be very simple too at the same time. That's why I try to keep it to where I'm telling people more, unfortunately, about the things that you're wanting to avoid, like bioengineered food ingredients. Guess what? If you're avoiding those, and you're avoiding fake toxic breads and stuff like that, and fake corns, then guess what? You're gonna be doing a lot better. Your gut's gonna be happier. Your cognitivity is gonna go up if you are learning and practicing intermittent fasting. And then when you do consume food, it's not a bunch of fake GMO and or seedless lemons, or you know what I mean, those types of things. It's very simple in a sense. It's very complex, but we can break it down and make it very simple. That's what I try to do. I tried to do. Really, guys, if you can simply just squeeze your eating window, eat one meal a day, and if you do, when you do eat that meal, if you can keep it lower carbohydrate and higher nutrient dense foods, you're gonna be healthier, and you're gonna prevent. That's the point. People, oh, how do I quit? How do I cure the C cancer, the L cancer, the lung C, whatever you call it? How do you quit? How do you cure that? You quit smoking. You quit smoking. That's how you cure it. So how would you cure the cancer that's coming from all of these items? You gotta slow down, and you gotta quit consuming it. I'm not saying quit eating, but if you cut down the level, of the concentration of poison that's coming into your body, fam. Am I a fan of the calcium bentonite clay? It's all right. I don't use it myself, but I just using those things topically is totally cool, guys. I would even recommend, maybe even, I don't know, that diatomaceous earth or whatever, if you're putting it on topically or something. But as far as a mineral or a clay of any type, or your fulvic acid, whatever, that stuff's made to go through your skin only. When people are eating dirt, and they are eating these clays or whatever, or these rocks, your body is made to assimilate these as trace minerals. So you only want to absorb these mineral. You don't want to eat them. You don't want to eat them. You want to eat. You can eat things like sea moss, because sea moss is replicating those minerals out of the rock, and in absorbing it in a trace form. So you're consuming the trace mineral. Diatomaceous earth, don't ingest it. From what I remember researching it on a short time, it was some kind of fossils, fam, that you find at the bottom of the ocean or something like that. I don't really vibe that. I don't really vibe eating fossils. You see what I'm saying? So now I could be wrong on exactly what diatomaceous could be. I haven't researched it enough. I get it. People ask me here and there, kind of like She Legit. Microgreens, I don't vibe microgreens really, guys, because they're a hybrid of a hybrid. If you're eating broccoli, that's a hybrid. I mean, people will tell you, cruciferous vegetables, these things are good for you. They've got these nutrients in them. But then you learn that these vegetables are lacking the real nutrients, because they're man created, like cauliflower. It's like pure carbon, because it was man made. So if you're taking a plant, and you're taking these microgreens from a hybridized plant, and you are making them micro, you are also altering them further. And if you still don't agree with any of that, that's fine. But then eventually you have to think very primally and think about how these microgreens are being grown. How are they being grown? Most of them are being grown under lights. Growing food that you eat under a fake man-made light made from fake energy that we don't even need in this fake world is not good. Do you see what I'm saying? The real energy is from the plant, from the sun, fam, that goes in the plants. The photon energy, you're eating the sun. When we consume food, you're consuming light. We are light beings, we are electrical beings, and we consume light through our food. The food is just a way to eat light. Otherwise, you eat light by sun gazing, you eat light by being out in the sun, or just being, in sun, just having the sun out around you. You are consuming that light. And we get energy. We are more efficient than most of these primal animals on this earth because we can consume energy quickly and easily from the earth. You can ground. You can, you can sun gaze. You can touch a tree. You can be in nature, and just walking in the woods or being near a water source. You are absorbing that energy in some way, shape, or form. These are higher energy places. And then you go into the city, these are low, dense, negative energy places. These cities, all the wild has been removed. So there's no natural energy currents around you. You are just in a grid under a man-made current. The hydroelectric current that runs through, it just so happens to not be that good for us. These are the sources of your EMF. Coming from this man-made hydroelectric, they've made all these dams and shit. We have free energy. We have free energy out there. You can make free energy from 2 magnets. You tell me that these geniuses, they don't know these things? Go look at Dr. Parkenstein on TikTok. That kid is sending energy over multiple states, and then his friend harnessing that energy and using it, and or generating free energy from just things spinning, from just this gravity, we call it, whatever you call it. It's just the energy's all around us, and we don't even see it, guys. It's right under our noses. Cars can run on water. Cars do run on water. Matter of fact, you can research the cat that made the car run on water, and then he got gone fast. They unalived him somehow fast. Okay? Well, now Hyundai has a hydroelectric car. It's a hybrid. It literally emits water vapors. So it's like just now, you think just now we learned that stuff? Hell no. You see what I'm saying? Someone says you look like Matthew something, Chachek. I don't know if that's a burn or a compliment. I have no idea who that is. So either way, I'll laugh. Kathleen, I appreciate you on Facebook. Ancient AI, I believe so. Definitely, we have ancient AI. We have so much knowledge and power. Look at the pyramids, you guys. Okay, so look at it this way. This might intrigue you. So if we were to be wiped out, right? Let's say that this earth got super toxic and they were making a bunch of plants and they were making animals and humans and doing all these weird things, right? And then God said, you guys are burnt, and he wiped us out. Guess what would be left after 10,000 years? The only thing that would be left, it would be the Hoover Dam. Okay? So when we look at these pyramids, so let's say 10,000 years from now, somebody, civilization restarted, and somebody looked at the dams like, holy shit, These things are elaborate looking, and they grew up with different types of technologies that were available to them, and they never developed our type. So they would look at our dams and be like, wow, these things are insane. This ancient civilization was very advanced. That's exactly what we're doing with these pyramids. Except the pyramids were 10 times more efficient for an energy source as these fake hydroelectric dams that devastate the lands. This hydroelectric crap, they made it up, guys. They knew what they were doing, and they're blocking off our rivers. That's not healthy. That's not good for the ecosystem. Okay, it's really bad for the fish. Who cares, right? Who cares? We'll just make them in labs. That's what they do now. They just make GMO fish so they can dam up all the dams and then blame the sea lions or whatever they do with all that politics. You know what I mean? So the point is, look at those damn pyramids. The top of those pyramids, they used to have a big old giant crystal up there that could harness that energy, and it could literally radiate that energy throughout the whole lands. And that's just from free energy in the air, in the atmosphere, however they were doing it. Look it up. That's why the tops of those pyramids are flat, because they used to have a giant, I can't remember, is it Oregon or what it was that they had up there. It was a type of crystal that would harness that energy, guys. And then look at how those things were made. Tell me that you don't think that they weren't more advanced than us? So really, that humbles us immediately, and it proves that we don't know anything, and that information's suppressed. You know, you can be a conspiracy, this, that, and the other, but you cannot deny without a reasonable doubt that information's not being suppressed. It's been proven time and time again in our history that our information is constantly suppressed. This one, Marissa, I see your comment, fam. I'm trying to get to you, okay? You're asking me what veggies aren't man-made, okay? I made a food list in my bio of the ones that are closest to nature. Those are the ones that aren't as much man-altered. Okay, so grab that list. It's all there for you for free. Check it out. It's in my bio. That is the veggies, fruits, and grains that aren't man-made. And that is a Dr. Sebi's inspired list that I made because he did all the research on these things, and I went and researched after with his knowledge and gained my own perspectives and added my own knowledge to his teachings. And I also come from a little bit different angle. I'm not 100% on exactly what Dr. Sebi did, but he definitely had it a lot more dialed in than any other doctors I've ever heard of. And then I use a lot of teachings of Dr. Berg, Dr. Eric Berg. He's on YouTube. I use his teachings when it comes to our blood sugars because we need to understand our blood sugars is the number one attack. All these diseases that people have, these neurological disorders, these Alzheimer's, these brain fog problems, anxiety, depression, this, that, a lot of the neurological stuff, let alone, we know that the foods makes us unhealthy as far as our physique and all of that. We know that. That's not a secret. But we're learning every day more and more that this insulin abuse is devastating our human bodies in many, many other ways, man. And so we have to really think from both sides, and it's difficult. It causes a huge process of elimination. But it's like, do you want to eliminate some things and choose some others, or be a lot less healthy? Try to catch up with you guys here. Kathleen says, I really invite you up. If I can make arrangements, will you come? You'll get a platform. We both need native and natural. Thank you guys for the support on the Facebook too. Facebook's got me totally banned, yet I've got millions of views on Facebook and I've got 70,000 followers, but yeah, I'm restricted. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm misinfoed. Fact checking it up. Where is it located on my bio? Which veggies are man-made? Aren't man-made? It's going to be my food list. My free food list in my bio. Yep. If you look at that food list, you'll see the veggie section where it talks about the ones that are much closer to nature, such as zucchinis, onions, squash, the plants that, and then you'd be blown away which ones are man-made, and you'd be blown away which ones are so mass-produced that never occurred in true nature. It'll blow your mind. If you guys are awake and you care to learn it, it'll blow your mind which ones, and you go do your own research. I encourage people, take my list and please take it and try to and prove it wrong, because if you can, I'll be a lot happier. I'll start partaking and eating a lot more food. If I learn that my research coupled with Dr. Sebi's research is not suffice, does not suffice with what's really out there and what they're really doing, and then it goes beyond that. And I get even more specific than Sebi. I'm just going to his diet now. Didn't have the right food in my house, so I ate a baked onion for lunch. That's, you're getting conscious. You're paying attention to what's going into you. You're realizing that it is going to affect you, man. This is why it's important. It affects your vibration. It affects your moods, man. It affects your subconscious. If you're putting things in you that subconsciously are harming you, then it's harming you on top of that physically. So you're learning, like, hey man, when I vibe high with the things I put in me, I vibe high, right? It's a direct connection, fam. So that's what inspires you to eat better, to eat cleaner, because you're tired of feeling drugged down by this crappy matrix, and it takes your energy. This world's already taken our energy, guys, and then you're eating low dense negative energy foods, and it's just going to keep depleting you. Just try it for a week. Try, eating less. Try eating a little cleaner. Try eating plants. Try eating more salads. If you do these things and get out in the sun, I guarantee you, you're not a human if you don't feel better. You could be not human if that doesn't make you feel better. If you're on the toxic foods, I see people all around me who are having these problems, these people on Facebook or whatever, saying that they have seizures every day, but they still drink beer and eat bread. And I'm like, hey, guess what? This could be your symptom to eating and putting these toxins in your body, fam. And I know it doesn't seem like they're that bad. You buy them at the store, right? They're approved, FDA approved. Well, guess what? Just so happens to be carcinogenic and or banned everywhere around you. So if you could try just subsiding those things for a week, see what happens. Is it going to kill you? People are afraid to fast, but they'll drink beer. Dude, drinking beer is 10 times more toxic than fasting. But people are afraid to fast. People say, oh, doctor said don't do it, this, that. Did the doctor tell you not to drink beer? He wouldn't dare. Or to not take certain types of narcs. So then we start thinking, okay, there's some kind of trickery here. And then you learn that fasting is free. And you don't need no one to make you or to write you a scription and charge you and make you get health bennies so you can pay to fast. Nope. You have to get bennies and you have to work and pay to eat pills or this or that. Right? So then we start making these connections, and then we learn how important it is to eat cleaner, to get these poisons out of you. And then what happens? Your spirituality goes up, right? Your cognitivity goes up. Neuroplasticity goes up. Neuroplasticity is making connections in the mind. That is growing the brain. That is creating new brain cells. That's creating new pathways. That is a type of quantum physics, really. If you can create your reality, you're making these connections in your mind, and you are what? Making these changes to appease your spirit and to appease your well-being, even if you aren't spiritual. Even if, I didn't believe in any of it. Alcohol lowers the vibe and of consciousness, without a doubt, fam. It is these things, these matrix entities that are all around you that are here to tempt you. And it's tempting, especially in this crappy matrix. And you can be a great person and still be tempted. You can be a great person and still be an addict, because you're essentially a victim of this world. That's why I want education out there to be like, hey, you just need to know beforehand that alcohol will devastate and destroy you. And if you can go buy it right at the Matrix Mart, you can go down the Matrix Mart for $3 and get trashed. Isn't that kind of an odd little trap? You know what I'm saying? Spirituality is 90%. I agree. Spirituality is something that I never preached, and now I have no choice to. It's just part of our existence, and I don't question who tells me what or where or when, because I sat and did that. I let people tell me what, when, where, why, and it led me astray. So then I learned to think for myself, and I learned not to let somebody educate me that may not have my best interest in mind. And then I learned that no one was coming to save me. I needed to educate myself. You know what I mean? Dark energy and a lot of the things we eat, we have to think of it from beginning to end. They're feeding them trash ingredients. They're feeding these fake animals. They made these animals, and they take them in and out of laboratories, alter their genetics. They're raised in these trash environments. They eat trash GMO foods that have no nutrients. They're raised in a bunch of soil with a bunch of glyphosate, a bunch of depleted dirt that doesn't even have any nutrients in it, and they become what they eat. They're becoming a bunch of fake non-GMO foods, and then what? You're eating them up, and what? They get killed, and the meat sits there for what? 3 weeks or whatever, dead, dead energy. And when the animal was taken from this world, it was rolling on some negative energy because it was trapped and it was beaten, and or mothers having the babies taken from them or injected while they're pregnant, or all these things. And then you're eating that food. Where's it coming from? Oh, it's being ground up into this powders, and they add fake wheat to it, and this, that. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Then people, they are making your food at Mickey D's, and they hate their job, and they're putting more dense, negative, trash energy into your food. And energy is transferred. This world is all about energy. It's all about us manipulating and trading energy. When I'm playing with my kids on the trampoline and I jump them, I transfer my energy to them and they go flying. You know what I mean? We're constantly transferring energy. So you can transfer dense negative energy as well as positive. If you've got somebody that's a negative entity in your life and you keep feeding them negative energy, then you're going to keep feeding them. You know what I mean? If you feed them positive energy when they are just craving negative, then things will change. It's all about energy here. That's why Tesla, I always will constantly quote Tesla on the secrets of the universe being energy, frequency, and vibrations. When you learn that's what it's all about, and you learn that everything is connected via energy, frequency, and vibration, and you learn to see it for what it is, and you learn to understand more about these things that are happening right underneath our noses. When they say this is interdimensional, this, that, you can't see these things. There's lots of things going on all around us that we don't even see. We don't have the capacity yet. We don't have the capacity yet. Just like how dogs can't see colors, this, that, you know, they don't have the capacity. Chicken causes the colon cancer for men. That's a detail. That's a detail on it. You know what I'm saying? You can get into some people like to hear those details. You know, some people need to hear that one detail and they're like, what? Colon C? I had that, or I was scared of that, or you know what I mean? And then you learn more and more. Love is ground zero for positive energy. There you go. Meat is a low vibe. 99.9% of meat is a low vibe. Light warrior, you're right. However, we cannot discount or not discuss where meat plays a small role in the human's life, in the human's anatomy, in the human survival situation. So do I think that we all ate meat and then became smarter? No. I think we ate mushrooms and became smarter. I think when we ate mushrooms and opened our minds up, our consciousness, that we started to develop things that we weren't experiencing before. But that's just, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you right now that we don't have to eat meat the way they make it out to be. You can go all the way to saying, on the other side of the spectrum, how meat is trash, don't eat meat, this, that, or the other. Well, there's levels to the meat, because meat was a survival. It was a survival mechanism. Being able to eat meat, we are able to eat meat as omnivores. So we can't say that we never were allowed or were supposed to or never did eat meat, because that's false. However, the meat eating was for survival, because you look at true nature and you look at, if you were in the wild and you had fresh fruits, you were in the homeland, you had fresh plants growing around you that you knew were good, they tasted good. There's a reason why we have taste. It's so we can taste what tastes good. And guess what? If you eat something that tastes bad, most likely it's not good for you and you're not going to eat it. Do you see what I'm saying? We have to think very simple. We have to think very primally. I'm going to reset you guys on live here. I apologize, on Facebook. Give me a sec. We have to think primally. So in other words, when you could just simply grab a good tasting fruit off of the tree, you wouldn't be over there slaughtering animals for their meat. You just wouldn't, because fruits taste better. We're designed primarily to consume plants. If you look at the anatomy of our teeth, we got the little bitty canines here. That's not really big, bad meat shredding teeth. Like you see a lot of meat eating animals. They have these canines that they go together like this. Okay? Because they're designed to shred and eat meat. Even the gorilla is designed to shred and eat meat, but they eat 99% plants. Well, our teeth are designed to grind plants, to chop off the plant, the fruit, and grind it up in the back of your teeth. You know what I mean? So we never were out there just slaughtering animals for fun. Slaughtering an animal and eating it, first of all, eating raw meat doesn't even taste that good, and you can't eat it. You can't eat raw meat, okay? So we have to what? We have to cook it. That's a big process. And then to even eat it, you have to add stuff to it, right? You have to add salt to meat to make it taste good. You have to char it. You have to do this. You have to do that. So we think more and more that this meat was more of a survival mechanism, not something that we need to eat every day, all day, with these weird ass chickens that are gray and these cows that are beaten and they are malnourished and they are still going and going. Yes, I apologize. I got the kid back here snoring, you guys. I'm going to try to make him stop. I don't know where to pause my live. I know it's very annoying. I'm in the matrix, so bear with me. You know what I mean? Bear with me here. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Hey, you're snoring really loud. You want to run around or something? You probably should get up. It's pretty late. You guys, you guys are funny. Hey, I'm in the Matrix, you know what I'm saying? I'm on here doing what I can do. Bro told him to dip. You gotta go, man. Eric, okay, here we go. This is a great comment. So Eric says, I agree to a point, but the taste good might also be a trick because fruit and sugar are quick energy. Okay, so this is important to elaborate on because this taste thing with the sugar, this is what they get us with. They're using our own taste buds against us. So in true nature, you really weren't coming across these crazy high sugar tasting items, fruit and or candies. These things, they never were this sweet. There used to be way more fiber. There used to be a lot. These fruits used to be a lot more bitter, you guys. So these sugar fruits now, it is a trick. They are using it as a trick against us, and it is quick energy. It's a glucose energy, and it's not as clean of an energy to use to live on. You actually want to use ketones as a fuel source for your body if you can. You want to be running off ketones more. It's much more efficient than running on glucose. And when you're eating fruits or seedless fruits or these sugar fruits, you're running on glucose. These sugar fruits, they turn into sugar in the blood, all the same as cane sugar or beet sugar, these low quality sugars. Okay? So just be mindful of that. And it's these levels of these things they do to us, you guys. If there's no seeded fruits, then what? This is a good question. We have to go and you got to make your own decisions, like if you want to eat more mushrooms or you want to eat more veggies, or you know, there are still some seeded fruits, guys. I'm just trying to elaborate and let you know, like, hey, most of them are gone and there's a reason for it. Most of these seeded fruits are gone. Seeded grapes are almost gone. People are always pop up with their little comment on my videos saying, oh, there's seedless watermelons. I understand that. There's seeded ones. They say there's seeded watermelons. That's great. But they find me a real watermelon with the rind going through the flesh. Okay, and then that's where they shut down because they don't understand that the watermelon used to have the rind go through it, and you would eat that rind. You know, when we eat watermelons nowadays, we eat it all the way down to the rind and then we stop. And we would have been eating those seeds along the way. Sure, that's great. But the real main fiber is in that rind. And that's where we stop eating the watermelon. No big deal. But how many of these things can I go over? You know, I'm not the watermelon guy. I could sit there and be the watermelon guy all day and tell everybody about how it's sugar and you can't find seeded ones really anymore, and how they used to be way different. They used to be way smaller. The flesh used to not even be red. And nobody cares. It's boring. You know what I mean? Nobody cares. But then somebody's so interested to argue it. Somebody's so interested to be, dude, you know what? I'm just trying to tell you guys the facts. If you want to say that you found a seeded watermelon, good for you. That's not my point. The point is, go look at 99% of the watermelons. They're not seeded. They're literally sugar fruits. And it's just all at different levels, like the banana. The banana is one small part of your day, maybe, but guess what? Walmart sells the most bananas out of any item at all, ever. Anything at Walmart. They're selling more bananas than that. And those bananas are sugar. They're not real. They need man to recreate them. They can't regrow. Bananas started off at the tart, heavy-hearted seeded plants that they even had to boil a lot of types of them to eat them. They weren't even edible. So then what makes you think that we had these sugar fruits all this time? That we've been eating these balls of sugar? When you used to have to boil a banana. When a crab apple used to be so tart that you wouldn't even really know it's a fruit almost. You know? So they took the crab apple, they take the genome and they make them into these big giant apples that are pure sugar. And then people come in and say, it's just natural selection. So where do you stop naturally selecting? If this plant is pure sugar now, and it turns into sugar in your body, and you learn that sugar is the number one devastator of the world. Blood sugars, your blood sugars going up, that is the number one devastator on this planet. It is the number one, and it is the leading cause of a lot of disease, right? Society has brainwashed us to eat every day. Yes, just like when they told you to smoke, it was smoke all day, every day, do a pack a day. You know what I mean? And, oh, drink 8 glasses of fluoride a day, you know? Or eat the food pyramid all day. Eat the pyramid. The pyramid is good for you. Pyramids are not sketchy at all. As we learn over the years, pyramids are good things, aren't they? They're on the bills. There's actors holding them over their heads. You know what I mean? Pyramids are good. Bread for sugar with no fiber. That's 100% correct. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This isn't an opinion. This isn't no. No. They are bred for sugar and they have no fiber. You know that the Honeycrisp apple is just about almost as much sugar as a Snickers bar. And there's like 1 gram of fiber left in a Honeycrisp apple. Yippee dee. It used to be almost more fiber. As a matter of fact, I bet you the crab apple was more fiber than it was fructose. When you get fructose, you need the fiber. I'm not hating on fructose or fruit, but you need the fiber. That's what the plant's designed to be consumed as in nature. Pyramids designed to get us sick. Thoughts on mangoes? Mangoes are a good vibe. Mangoes are sweet though. We are insulin sensitive and we are sugar sensitive. So I wouldn't go eating a bunch of mango flesh all day or dried mangoes all day, this, that, because it just turns to sugar in the body. If you're going to consume a mango, I suggest eating it with the skin. That way you're getting the fiber from the plant with the plant. That's where all those phytonutrients are as well. But by all means, enjoy the fructose too. But just get the fiber. Just get the fiber with it. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough out there. But mangoes are alkaline. Mangoes, God made mangoes. Have they messed with them and altered them and probably bred them up for size and sugar since then? Probably. You know what I mean? Probably have. But there's levels to it all. If I could guess how many calories do I eat in a day, I don't even really pay attention, man. It's probably low because I eat, like if I do eat during the day, it's stir fries, it's veggies as much as I can, and it's going to be berries. And then, I might get some calories from like some tahini butter and or some coconut milk, but I'm not really like a high calorie intake. Natural alkaline foods are really not too high in calorie. But if you're get your calories, they're not all created equal. A lot of foods that turn to sugar is kind of created equal, but all calories are not created equal. You have your empty calories. You have calories from a Snickers bar, and then you have calories from, you know, from some quinoa or something. You know what I mean? So and that is the same, to an extent with sugar. Fructose sugar from a berry is much better than the sugar you're gonna find in a Pepsi. Yes. But does it still turn to sugar in the blood? Yes. Does it turn as rapidly? No. But we don't know exactly how it assimilates with each person with their levels of sensitivity to insulin. We're constantly getting, just healing against these threats, these attacks. Light Warrior says that dairy is toxic, destroys all microbiomes in your gut. Your gut is our brain. That's just the truth. That dairy is a type of poison. It is created with hormones. It's created with chemicals. These animals are fed chemically hormone induced diets. They are fed GMO crop. They are fed and malnourished and depleted of their own health. It's a miracle these farm animals even stand. They're so malnourished and so unhealthy, and you wonder why they made a big deal about the antibiotics in these animals. Da 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 da. You don't have to go antibiotic a wild animal. Think of that. You don't have to give a wild animal antibiotics because they're healthy. So why are these man-made domesticated animals so unhealthy? Because of their domestic, crappy, environments. And then you're eating those things. What? I feel bad enough for them alone, and I used to eat them too. But now it's like I see it, and it's like I feel bad enough for those guys just living in their little existence because they are some kind of an energy soul or something. There's something in there. If you ever met an animal, they've got some kind of something in there, like a type of consciousness. And that thing is going through a shitty existence, and then you're ready to eat it. It's in a trash vibe. It's in a trash environment, and it is being beat or whatever they do to them, man. They do whatever they want. I've seen so many videos off and on with what they do to these animals. It's just I'm never gonna eat one from a farm. Grass fed's better. So Eric, there's levels to these things. You say drink raw milk. Well, raw milk is coming from a raw cow. So, is raw milk going to be a little bit better than your pasteurized? Probably, because they're adding a bunch of chemicals and they're burning it up and heating it and killing any of the enzymes. But then again, I almost would rather that be happening because I'm not designed to be a cow. This milk is specially formulated by nature, and it's not even actually made. These milk cows, they're not made by nature. Man made these black and white cows. Appreciate you guys on Facebook. What are good fat burners to eat food wise? Not eating is the best fat burning. If not, look at salads and look at your fiber. That is going to help you burn fat, fam. Low carbohydrate. Daniel, appreciate the compliment. I've been in the sun a little too much, maybe. Appreciate you. Anyway, you can't find these cows in nature because they're fake. You don't see black and white cows in nature because they made them. They made them. They took and played God. They made them with two different cows. There was one white cow and one black cow. Literally, I have the information. I've researched it. They made this cow. And now you're drinking its product. You think that you're specially designed as a grown adult to consume this animal's milk that it's trying to give its baby, even though it's mutant and it's confused, kind of like your dogs and cats. They are hybrids. You know what I mean? Which is cute and cool and all, playing God with these animals' lives. That's fine. And then they have problems later down. They have these seizures. They have these issues because they're being overbred. They're being miniaturized. They're doing all that's cool. Cool. Keep playing God. You know what I mean? Keep doing these things. But keep in mind that when it comes to consuming, you're not eating your animals, your cats, your dogs. Light Warrior says they made us hybrids too. We used to be giants. That wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure you got some kind of intel on that, bro. But that wouldn't surprise me at this point. They've done so many things that I'm numb to it almost. Maybe that's not good. But anyways, there's levels to these things, man. With the cow's milk and eating these cows, I just, we just need to understand, what are they? Why are we eating these things, man? Why are we going to a store? Would you ever consume your mother's milk past 2? Never. So why are we designed to consume this hybrid animal's milk? We are not designed for it. They've tricked us. It was just one of the other many tricks that they got us on. They got us, guys. They got us. And they're laughing. But guess what? We're starting to wake up and learn. And then when we do that, we can laugh back by not consuming it. If we're no longer buying this milk that we think, dude, I lived the last 2+ years of my life with no milk from another animal. I've made it. And I'm not lacking no vitamin D. I'm not lacking none of that crap they tell you need from these fake animals, fake pus. You know what I'm saying, man? And I'm not trying to tear anybody down or anybody's beliefs. If you drink raw milk or you believe in it, this, that, and the other, that's fine. But what is it? That's all I say, is educate yourself on what it is. What are these animals and why are we drinking their milk? Would you ever take this black and white animal that you saw in nature and go grab its udders and start gunning its milk down? We would never, ever, ever do that in nature. That's why I have to think primally. Think about it, man. Would you be over there drinking that animal's milk? And it goes and goes and goes. Because you research, like Sebi, he researched buffalo's milk is alkaline. And you research and test this fake cow's milk, it's acidic. Why? Because they're man-made. Everything man makes is acidic, whether it's a plant or an animal. If you're eating these fake pigs, these pink fake pigs, they made them too. I have all the research on that. I have all the information. They made these fake pink pigs, and you won't find them in nature. Coconut water's good, bro. If it's pink, it's best. When it's not pink, they add chemicals to it, even if it's organic, to keep it from spoiling. So either busting it open out of the coconut or get it pink. Coconut water. Do the research, it's true. It simply is, fam. What is the Sebi book? The Dr. Sebi book is actually on Dr. Truth's site in my bio. You can go to Dr. Truth and you can see Dr. Sebi's ebook, and that's his real book. Do I subscribe to the Yaki Awakened? Yeah, I like that cat. I don't agree with everything he's talking. I agree with most things. And just to point out one idea, he talks about eating broccoli, and I don't buy broccoli. You know what I mean? Things like that. But overall, the man is, without a doubt, he's a good one. Those who are asking to join my live, I've never you before, fam. I don't join in random people I don't know. I appreciate the likes and all that. Max, he says 10K likes. We're close. I appreciate you. Thank you for the follows as well, the shares, all that, you guys. But like I was saying, man, there's levels to these things. Me, if I drink any milk, it will come out of my skin. It's disgusting. I'll have like a boil on me. I'll get these weird, like, pus balls on my skin if I drink milk anymore. So my body straight up told me, quit putting that poison mucus in it. It doesn't know how to process it. It does. Your body, you're not designed to drink a cow's milk. Your body can't recognize that. Even if it was a natural cow, it would still be weird. We would still be weird to be an adult and be gunning this animal, this baby. It's for the baby. It's for that baby. You would never go. I like that. I'm going to eat the sun for lunch today, Brian. That's badass, man. I like that. We would never go under these animals, man. And dude, if you go under a wild Like you go over to a buffalo and a mother buffalo and try to suck her milk out of her udders, she will stomp you dead. You know what I'm saying? Think of in nature. Would we be running around doing this? No, never. Maybe, along the way, back in the day, they were milking these animals, but it's just weird. It's just weird. I would, lots of people do lots of weird things. Me in nature, I would never go after this animal and start drinking its milk. I would be totally content eating the plants and everything that God provided all around us. It wasn't until we moved from that is when that came into play. I'm going to confront my shop owner because he's selling seedless lemons. GMO. But it says non-GMO. Right, guys? It says non-GMO. So what is it? What is it? What does that mean anymore? When people will say, "Oh, this or that, it's not GMO." What does that mean? It literally means nothing. It literally is just a false blanket term used to confuse you. And just like BPA, when they talk about BPA plastic, dude, who cares? BPA, it's just another plastic that's poisonous. You know what I mean? It's just it's a more toxic variant of plastic, okay? That's cool. That just because you're eating plastic that's not BPA doesn't make it healthy. You know what I mean? It doesn't make plastic healthy because it is BPA free. That's what I'm saying. Appreciate you guys on the likes on Facebook. Somehow I only get 5 of you guys at a time that they push me out to or whatever. This Brian, hunger pains, are they withdrawals? Yeah, I think so. I think they're a type of withdrawal. I think that's your body that's starting to cleanse. It's starting to eat itself, fam. It's starting to eat all the bad things in your body. When you're feeling those hunger pains, you got to learn to fall in love with them. Isn't that weird? We were learned that if you get that little feeling that you need to eliminate it fast and eat some food real quick, you know what I mean? That's a fucking lie. We need to learn to love that feeling. That's your body cleaning. That's the fat burning. That's the muscle building. That's your instinctive hormones kicking in, and you are very efficient when you're hungry. God made us very efficiently. You know what I mean? Because as we get hungry, we get stronger, smarter, faster. We get clearer headed. We think better. We start tapping into those hormones because we're designed intricately. I mean, look at how elaborate our bodies are. If we don't think that we were designed intricately, we look at how intricately we're designed, but it takes all these things of us doing us to ourselves to be unhealthy. You know what I mean? And we think that we think that God was that flawed when He created us this elaborately, yet we get sick like nothing. But it's not nothing. It's not, it almost looks like it happens easily, like you can get cancer just from rolling over out of bed, but it's like, nah, man, it's an accumulation effect of many, many things in many angles at many degrees. It's all an accumulation. I call it cancer cocktails. What's my opinion on coffee, man? I gotta keep it real once again and explain that coffee is very, very bad. It's very unhealthy. It's acidic. It's carcinogenic. It is full of aflatoxins. It's full of types of mold. It is acrylamide is present in coffee beans. When they roast these, it develops the carcinogen acrylamide. And caffeine is the plant's defense toxin. Caffeine tricks your body and your brain. And caffeine is not good for you. It is not something a human being needs in any shape or form. And when I gave up coffee and traded it for tea, it changed my life. Coffee made me feel like crap. It's acidic, Brian, yes. It gives you anxiety. It makes you feel like trash because it is the plant's defense toxin. And does it give you this weird energy thing? Sure, maybe. Is that a placebo? Yes, it is. The placebo is playing a part in that too. Raw cacao is good, but not cheap, hard to find. Raw cacao is acidic, unfortunately. Dr. Sebi preached against the cacao too. It sucks. But cacao, drinking a little cacao is better than coffee. Put it that way. But they're finding a lot of heavy metals in the cacao. The cacao, these plants are grown in more hostile environments. They are more susceptible to absorbing these heavy metals that are in the soils. It sucks. It just sucks, man. I gotta be the guy that's gotta keep it real, and I don't get to vibe with you guys like some of these guys on here, the spiritual people on TikTok. I envy them. They can sit there and just talk about how peace and harmony is, this and that. But I don't get to be that guy. That's why I'm jealous. Yeah, the matcha tea has 25 milligrams of per serving of caffeine. Yeah, so the caffeine from matcha isn't as bad. If you need to taper off of caffeine, the matcha is a better, cleaner source of caffeine. Okay, but it is still caffeine, and caffeine is the plant's defense toxin. Just like the cochineal bug, when you eat that red dye from that bug, people seem to not care. They say, oh, who cares? I eat bugs. Well, you're eating the defense toxin of that bug. You're not just eating the cochineal bug. No, you're eating its defense secretion. It uses to kill predators. When it's being killed, that's why the cochineals, the carminic acid, that's why it's disgusting. People don't understand. I need to make a better video about it, because it being in the food isn't enough for these people. They go further to where they say, I don't care, I'm eating bugs. Okay, well, did you know you're eating the bug's poison? You're eating bug poison, not just the bug. So is caffeine. It is the plant's defense toxin. It is the plant's toxin. You're eating a plant toxin, caffeine. And then you guys want to go down the Starbucks rabbit hole? Then we start seeing the connections and why they chose coffee. It's one of the most carcinogenic, toxic things you can put in your body. The Starbucks rabbit hole, guys, long story short, the Starbucks character that you guys know and love is actually the devil's wife. In a sense, it is whoever you want to call her. It don't matter. She's got serpent legs. Her legs coming up on her side, they are serpent legs, because she's half serpent, half woman, like a siren or something. Call her who you want to call her, Lilith, whatever you want to call her. She is evil, man. Coffee, Starbucks, all that stuff is. It's pure evil. It is literally descendant from evil. Coffee. I need to make more videos about coffee. It's sad. I wish it wasn't true. I loved the taste of coffee, but then I checked myself, how I felt, and it made me feel like trash. And then